Good afternoon, everybody. How y'all doing today on this Sunday? It is Sunday, March 17th. I'm just kicking back, watching some of this Players Championship and getting really pissed at myself, asking why the hell can I golf like these dudes? Um, but it is pretty awesome, man. These guys are incredible. It's awesome to watch. Anyways, I hope you guys are having a great day. My name is Mark, and this is the first time you've watched any one of my videos. I'm a local Denver native here. Grew up a huge sports fan, specifically with Denver sports, but with sports really all abroad. Big Bronco fan, Nuggets, Avs, which will be the focus of the channel. But obviously, over the course of the next, several months, I'll be touching base on everything, all the big sports topics and giving some opinions and some insight there. Another thing that's unique about my channel, I like to keep my videos very brief, right to the point, no editing, just raw footage of me sitting here chopping it up with you in hopes to get a lot of my viewers to come on and let's debate, discuss, talk about things, get to know each other, start a new type of communication where it's not so tied in and people have to just comment or live chat. You can actually have full-on conversations with people. So that is the vision of it. But otherwise, we can get right into it. So I think I touched on it a little bit yesterday. Tomorrow, March 18th, is the day. I don't really know what time. It's usually like 4 Eastern, where a $2 million guarantee of Courtland Sutton's contract for 2024. So $2 million is guaranteed to him tomorrow at like 2 p.m. Meaning right now, if we were to cut bait with Courtland Sutton, we'd save about $9.5 million off the cap. We still save him about $7 million that's been paid through restructuring and signing bonus. But if we wait till tomorrow and we decide to make a trade or get rid of him later, then that will move to about $7.5 million that we would save. So it's something to keep your eye on. As if I think based off the reports I heard, I think Courtland Sutton's safe. I personally would have probably moved on from him, but I think if anything's going to happen, there's a possibility that it can happen tonight or tomorrow early morning. Otherwise, if he does get that $2 million guaranteed, it doesn't mean that they're not going to trade him. I think the last thing is that he might be somebody that gets traded during the draft, whether to move up or depending on, if we end up getting a receiver that we really love in the third round, or if it takes trading him to move up for somebody in the second, then that could spell doom and gloom for him. So not a lot of Broncos news in particular going, but there's some pretty funny NFL news. One of the things that I had seen earlier was DeShaun Watson issued some sort of I guess a warning or a message to Russell Wilson. Russell Wilson joining the AFC North with the Steelers. DeShaun Watson said something along the lines of, "Welcome to the AFC North where things are spooky." And I just think it's funny because, first of all, like, DeShaun Watson, just, he should probably just shut up for a little bit, dude. Like Mr. Serial masseuse guy, just go get a massage and just chill out and stop trying to make headline news, because it is spooky, and you have played like dog shit since you got your fully guaranteed money, which was just a terrible contract. That actually reminds me. People say that the Russell Wilson trade and contract was the worst contract in NFL history. I think Deshaun Watson's contract was definitely the worst in NFL history. And not just saying that because I'm a Bronco fan, because that's a fully guaranteed contract. You can't get out of him. He's done nothing. In fact, every time he's gotten hurt, missed games, he's the Browns have been better. So it's funny because Jerry Jeudy thinks, oh yeah, I'm going to a place now where I'm wanted and they're going to be able to give me the ball a lot. I think if Deshaun Watson's been playing the way he's been playing, you're just going to be doing what you've been doing as well, Mr. Jeudy. But anyways, I thought that was funny. Because it is a little bit goofy and I guess spooky, like he said, with him. So just kind of a funny thing there. I really do believe that the Browns are one of those teams that's so well coached. I mean, Kevin Stefanski's such a good, solid coach there, but they just cannot seem to be out of their ways. They're over desperation to fix the quarterback problem led to them kind of putting them in this bind. And it's unfortunate for them because their identity is play good defense and run the ball. And we'll see how Deshaun Watson does this year. But man, they could have taken a different route. I think things would have been very different for them, for sure. And anyway, so yeah, another day, no Broncos moves at all. Looking at the free agency quarterbacks left, a lot of people want to talk about that. It's basically Ryan Tannehill, Joshua Dobbs, and just a bunch of other random guys. Nothing's going to happen. You're not going to see any changes. I think this front office is totally went through on the draft. Talk about KJ Osborne yesterday, somebody that I would have liked. He actually saw with the Patriots today. I do think a Hunter Renfrow still. I'm adamant about somebody like him needing to be added. And we've got to do something about this tight end room, man. I mean, unless some sort of miracle can happen and Greg Dulcich can actually just get over all these hamstring injuries and he can actually be healthy, it's so integral to not only have a mismatch nightmare in today's NFL. I mean, look at all the teams that have won Super Bowls over the years. They all have an elite tight end. But specifically in Sean Payton's offense, he is so dependent on having a good tight end. And his offense has really been next level when they had him. You think about Jeremy Shockey, you think about Jimmy Graham for all those years. And then even Jared Cook at the end, last part of his career, he just had this huge resurgence when he was there. So I think we need to address this tight end position. Unfortunately, there's nothing really in free agency that we can do. There wasn't prior to it starting, and there isn't now. So looking at the draft, there's a couple of really intriguing names, and we'll get into the draft stuff starting tomorrow into the week. They're doing some mock drafts, going kind of position by position. But Theo Johnson from Penn State is somebody that stands out. A lot of people were talking about, but there's quite a bit of others. But we need to be able to address that room because we need some sort of a mismatch nightmare there. And in addition, you look at the past of Sean Payton's offenses. He's always had running backs that catch, 100, 150 balls a year. And it wasn't quite that much last year, but it seems like he likes to kind of have one main running back that does 80% of all the snaps and catches. And then they have another guy with 20. But he kind of split it off annoyingly a little bit last year with, Javonte and then mixing in Jaleel McLaughlin and then mixing in Samaje Perine at the end of the game. I think I would almost rather redo that room with a couple of guys than kind of just spread the wealth out, because I think that, Javonte just wasn't really himself last year. But if he can't really return close to his older type of a form, I'd rather feature a Jaleel McLaughlin or find somebody that's that Kamara type. Yeah, but we'll see. We'll see where that goes. Those are some, two key positions I think to really keep an eye out is going to be tight end and surprisingly running back. I think that there can be a lot of changes there on the offensive side. And I think this is the year we actually will finally draft the tackle. There's a chance it might even be the first round, but I think that we are just looking through, kind of reading all the tea leaves. It's pretty evident right now that they're going to roll with Bowles, but they're not going to extend them or commit to him for longer than this season. So they might be looking at developing somebody in the wings. Now, undrafted free agent Alec Polchewski, I think is how you say it, from Illinois. We got him undrafted last year. There was a lot of talk about him, somebody that's really kind of has a lot of college experience, potential to develop into a really good NFL player. But if that's going to be your plan, it's not a plan. No plan is not a plan. So I think on the offensive side of the ball, I think the draft right now, we have 8 picks. It wouldn't surprise me if 6 of the 8 picks at least were offensive players. And I would say, obviously, I'm going to take a guess. It's certainly going to be a quarterback, a tight end, a running back at some point. Not a lot of people are saying that, but I think a running back, a tackle, maybe even 2 tackles, and then we'll sprinkle in a wide receiver and maybe an interior guy that can come in for competing as well on the offensive side of the ball. But we need to get an influx of young skill position and young talent, which is why I'm saying if you're going to trade Sutton, try to trade him. It's been a rough market for receivers. But try to get as many picks as you can so that you have more darts to throw at this exact this draft, because the draft gives you the best opportunity to bring in guys that can come in and compete, and you can mold them into your culture. You can mold them into what it is to be a Bronco under this new staff. So, anyways, something to keep an eye out. If I had to guess, I don't think anything happens with Sutton for sure, but it's something to certainly keep an eye out on. This new front office, man, I'll tell you, they work in silence. They are like they really are like Lil Wayne said. Like they put the G in lasagna for sure. They genuinely work in silence. There's no leaks. There's nothing. Even like guy like Mike Kliss is like just kind of figures it out as he figures it out, or things will happen afterwards. So just some things to keep an eye on there. But yeah, so what we got going on this week, Monday, we're going to go through all of the different quarterbacks in the draft, the different prospects, kind of rank them, talk about what I think. And the way that I do it is not only just, watching, basic film. Like I said, I'm not some sort of a film guru, but I do know the track records of a lot of the guys that tend to get it right. And so when you start to see a trend, when you start to see all these different experts start saying the same things, then you can start to find a trend. So we'll go through quarterbacks. And then on Monday, we'll jump to wide receivers, tight ends. We'll do all the pass catchers on Tuesday. And then Wednesday, we'll do, running backs and O linemen. And then Thursday and Friday, we'll start looking at the defensive side of the ball. And then eventually, I want to do my mock draft, but I'm probably going to do that like a week before the draft itself. And I want to see just how close, we can get or just kind of some of the predictions there. So we'll go through that. That'll be a lot of fun. But anyways, hope you guys enjoy the rest of your Sunday. Hopefully it's nice and relaxing for you all. Appreciate you guys riding with me. And as always, a mile high salute to you guys all. Peace out.